everyone, it's Amanda from over at the blog, themetalmama.com, and today I want to share with you how I budget $200 per month for my family of 4. In evaluating how I save on my monthly budget, I came up with 6 fundamentals of saving on your monthly grocery budget in this order. My first step is to check what you have on hand. In my case this week, that was some lunch meat ham, a bell pepper, spaghetti noodles, some frozen black beans, celery, about a half of an onion, English muffins, and eggs. So then going off of these items, I have an idea of what I have to work with. The second tip is to shop the sales for meat and produce. These are the 2 most expensive parts of your budget, and namely meat. I had found chuck roast on sale this week, and a lot of times at stores they will run an even bigger sale on the weekend. So in this case, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, chuck roast was marked down an additional $1 at $2.99 a pound. So I went ahead and picked up a chuck roast that was about 2.8 pounds, right around 3 pounds, and I planned my weekly meals off of that and what I had on hand. Tip number 3 is to stretch your meat. And I've already kind of alluded to this when I told you that I found the chuck roast on sale for $2.99 and bought that this week. So I will be turning that into 3 meals. Now my first meal will be a classic pot roast. The second meal, I will turn that meat into some vegetable beef soup. And for the third meal, I will make Philly cheesesteak spaghetti. So using some of what I have on hand, I knew that I had celery and onion that I could use for pot roast. I would still need to buy potatoes for that. And so keeping that in mind, I planned meals that would also take the potatoes. Now, another trick for stretching this meat is to set it aside before it ever reaches your family's table, because that's when meat starts to disappear. So I will cook that pot roast and I will go ahead and set aside about half of it for the Philly cheesesteak spaghetti and the vegetable beef soup. That way there's no chance of it being eaten. My 4th tip is to commit to 1 to 2 meatless meals per week. Now, this might be the hardest to swallow, literally, for the man in your life, but I promise they will get used to it. And in my house, I consider meatless meals those even that include eggs. So I will be making, since I already had eggs on hand, I will be doing an Eggs Benedict with the turkey, lunch meat, the English muffins, and the eggs. Now, even if you don't already have eggs on hand, eggs are a very inexpensive protein. So I always do at least 1 egg dish per week. You can find additional ideas on my blog of some of my favorite egg dishes. Think breakfast for dinner, a classic quiche, and that is something else I will be making this week. So my 5th tip is to omit ingredients where you can. I will be using, for one of my other dinners, my black beans in a barbecue beef and beans dinner. Now, it calls for bell pepper. I do already have one, and I will purchase a green, but I need those for my Philly cheesesteak spaghetti. So I will omit it from the barbecue beef and beans. It won't be noticeable. So think, when you're meal planning, what are the ingredients that will not be noticeable if I take them out? A lot of times it's as easy as swapping water for beef or chicken broth when called for. So in my classic roast this week, I won't be using beef broth. I will just use water and it will come out just as beautifully. So you just have to think a little bit outside the box in terms of that. And my sixth and final tip is to omit or limit snacks. So if you have children that are snack snobs, I like to say, and they like those prepackaged snacks, and it might even be you that loves prepackaged snacks, start limiting them, backing off, and get rid of them entirely because they cost so much for that packaging. So this week, my snacks will consist of carrots and ranch. I will already be purchasing carrots for my roast. I will have microwave pop popcorn. Check out my blog for how to do that DIY project. Apples with peanut butter. I have on my list to do a pressure cooker. Apple cinnamon oatmeal for breakfast this week, so those leftover apples can be a snack, and I will buy them purposely with that intention. Those 6 tips will save you a lot. Now, we're gonna take a look at my Walmart grocery order for the week. And just because it's the easiest thing for me to show you with prices, we're gonna look at what that looks like. Now, for just the ingredients that I needed for these dishes, my menu consisting of classic pot roast, eggs Benedict, vegetable beef soup, ham and cheese pockets with a side salad, Philly cheesesteak spaghetti, barbecue beef and beans, and leftover veggie quiche with salad. Those items only came to $22 something, but the minimum order at Walmart is $30 for grocery pickup. So I did add in the bread, jelly that I would need for my children's lunches for their peanut butter and jelly. I also went ahead and added in those apples, like I mentioned, for snacks and my breakfast recipe, as well as the rolled oats. So what you see in this cart for $31 and change is breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my 4-person household. And this is probably only 5 days of breakfast and lunches, but 7 dinners. And those dinners will always have leftovers, so keep that in mind. Although I think I've covered all 6 of my fundamental tips for saving on my grocery budget, I'm sure I've left something out. Just leave your questions in the comments below, and I will be sure to get back with you on questions or clarification about anything. I'll also leave a link in the comments below to my blog post on this topic for you to use as reference. All right, well, if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to click that subscribe button, as well as visit my linked blog for more great tips on parenting, budgeting, living a healthy lifestyle, and more. Thanks so much for stopping by.